Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time joining us here, you're welcome. You're seeing my video for the second time or you're a returning subscriber. Thank you very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate your time. My name is Pasheda. I'm a makeup artist, content creator, and entrepreneur based in Lagos, Nigeria. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this flawless looking bit. A beginner friendly tutorial for you, alright? So you want to learn how to beat your face to improve your makeup game. Keep on watching, alright? So the most important thing when getting your makeup done is your skin prep. If your skin is not prepped the right way, if it's not prepped correctly, your makeup will fall apart. It's going to look like this or like this, cakey, patchy and that. Now for someone like me, I do have dry skin. I ensure that my skin is properly moisturized. I'm gonna head to do my skincare routine, which is everybody should have, okay? And I'm going to go in with setting spray, a makeup fix spray. This one is from Kiss Beauty, and I'm just going to spray my face. And also make sure that you're working with a clean base. Okay, make sure your face is clean. Don't be building up debts. Don't be building up makeup on debt. Okay? The next thing I'm going in with is a moisturizer. Okay, what can I do? My foundation comes up patchy every time. Skin prep the right way. And also you want to make sure to moisturize underneath your eyes properly, because the skin around there tends to be a bit drier than the skin on every other part of your body or your face in this case. Also going to go ahead and dry that down a bit. Now that is done, we're moving on to primer. I'm only using a primer for the sake of this video. I personally do not use a primer in my makeup routine unless I'm going for like an Owambe, or like I'm going to be, even when I'm going to be out all night, not really, for Owambe functions, yes. And for the sake of this video, I'm using the Zikel Skin Fit. This is a silicone based primer. And something else of importance you also need to know is that the reason why your product separates when you're doing your makeup is because sometimes you're using oil-based product on water-based product. Basically, if I use an oil-based moisturizer, lotion, any sort on my face, and I go ahead with a water-based foundation, it is going to shift. It's like when you put oil on your hand and you put water, you see the way it drops. That's why your foundation is moving around. So you want to ensure that the products that you're buying are products that work well together. Do your research and also ask your makeup artist, ask your favorite beauty creator. You can ask me in my DM and I'll ensure to, reply. And after that, I'm also going to show you guys different types of foundations that you can use. I'm going for a full space bit. I'll use foundations like Beauty by AD, Huda Beauty, foundations that are full coverage essentially. Next type of foundation that I have is this Yanga Beauty Smooth Match Foundation. This foundation, it's a matte, lightweight, soft matte, lightweight, and long wearing foundation. It means that it's not extremely full coverage. You can build it up, but it's not full coverage. It's very light. So I'm going to swatch it on my face for you guys to see. I'm just going to put one swatch here for you guys to see. So this is what it looks like. It's not completely full coverage, neither is it too light. But something else about this foundation is that once I put one layer, if I want it to give me more coverage, then I can layer it. Now the last foundation we have here is the Black Opal True Color one. This foundation is extremely lightweight. This foundation basically is like a BB cream. And who says BB cream anymore? What do you call it now? Skin tint, like them Fenty skin tint and stuff. Yeah, that's what this foundation feels like. Let me show you guys as well. So this is how this foundation applies. It's literally so light, like it is so light. So for the sake of this video, and because I've already swatched some of them, I'm going to be mixing the Yanga Beauty and the Black Opal one. Now before we blend in our foundation, brings me to my next step. I'm trying to make this tutorial or video as detailed as possible, so even if you've never picked up a brush before, you kind of understand where to go from here. So we have two tools we can use for blending out foundation or like skin product: the beauty blender and the brush, of course. This brush is the Yanga Beauty foundation brush, and this beauty blender is from CPD Cosmetics. If you're a beginner, like you've never handled a makeup brush before, I'm going to advise that you go for a beauty blender. It's easier to blend, and what you want to do is to ensure to tap your beauty blender. If you don't have this, do it at the back of your hand. I'm actually going to do that to show you. Make sure to tap your beauty blender and tap it at the back of your hand. What this does is that it spreads the products everywhere on the beauty blender, so when you're blending you don't have patches on your face. So anyways, I'm using the beauty blender to blend this part of my face. So because I'm using a very lightweight foundation, see how smooth and easy the coverage is. Now something else you want to avoid doing is to, I've seen people blend their foundation like this. When you do this, you're literally just leaving patches all over your face. Like imagine it's like you're painting, right? You're painting a wall and you're doing like this. You're going to be seeing the patches of whatever you're holding all over the wall. What you want to do is start on the lowest part of your face with more product. So when you blend upwards and obviously the product gets lighter, because you don't want a lot of product build up underneath your eyes. That's another thing that makes your makeup cake. You're not supposed to be putting foundation under your eyes at all. At best, if you want anything under your eyes, you color correct it. So you do this and then you blend upwards, right? I feel like I'm teaching a class, of which I actually take makeup classes. So if you need a one-on-one, hit your girl up. Okay, I can still see my pores and my spots and all through this foundation, but that's how foundation I'm using tonight. Now for the other side of my face, which is a brush, you're going to tap your brush on the product and then tap it on your face. But the same thing applies. Don't go like this. Start gently on one side, and if you're using a brush, you're going to have to exercise a lot more patience than with a beauty blender, because the bristles are very thin and you don't want to leave marks on your face. So just go very lightly. Another thing is that you don't have to pack so much product. Like I literally am using 3 pumps of foundation and that's still a lot. Like I still have some left on my mixing palette, right? So you don't have to pack plenty products before you know that you started applying foundation. This is what the blend looks like. This side we did with a brush, this side we did the beauty blender. So whatever your poison is, pick it. Now that we're done with that, we're going ahead to highlight the face. Basically what this means is that you're going to give your face some sort of definition. What foundation does is covers up your spots, natural dimensions that you have on your face. So you've turned your face to like essentially like a flat surface. Think of it like an egg. So everything is the same. There is no dimensions, no contour, nothing of sorts. Normally for this type of look that I'm going for, since it's not a very loud look, I don't go with concealers that are too light. I just go like a shade lighter or 2 shades lighter. If I'm trying to achieve that very bright under eye effect, then I go up. So the concealers I have here today, this is the Zikel concealer, the Zikel Skin Fit concealer. I also have the one from Yanga Beauty, then Beauty by AD, and the Zikel HD concealer. So another thing about products in general, before you use them on your face, like before you don't buy a product and the next thing you're using to do makeup straight up, unless you've used that product before, you want to try out that product to know how it reacts to your skin. Be familiar with it. That's essentially what I'm saying. Some concealers dry up like this. So what I'm about to do now, if your concealer dries up fast, you cannot do this method with it. Just blend your concealer straight up. A concealer that I've used that I find that dries up very fast for me is the Nuban Beauty concealer. It dries up really, really, really fast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Zikel concealer in the shade New York, and I'm going to put it at the center of my eye. Because I have a bit of eye bag and I'm not color correcting my face, I'm using a concealer that is a bit warm and deep in shade, like almost my foundation color, to just bring out my eye area. I'm going to put it just in the middle here, but very little. Like you don't want a lot of product under your eye. The skin here is very light, so you don't want to jam pack it with product. And next up, I'm going to go in with the Beauty by AD Luxe Skin Concealer in shade Bad 04. And I'm going to put it very close to my inner eye because I'm trying to get this, snatch effect close to my nose. So just put it there. And I'm going to put a little bit towards the outer corner of my eye as well. What this does is that it lifts your eye up. Same thing here. And I'm going to go in with the same shade and apply that to my chin, just a little bit, and a little bit to my forehead. Basically areas of my face where I feel like light or sunlight is going to hit. That's literally the basic idea for contouring or highlighting your face. Now, this is the method I was saying that if your concealer dries fast, don't do it. Because now I'm going to leave this because I want it to actually dry a bit. I want it to get a bit tacky. What that does is it allows your concealer to be more full coverage, basically. Like it gives you more coverage when you let it dry down. And next up, I'm going to contour my face. Now I'm going to give the face a bit of dimension. And I'm using this Colourpop Nose Filter Stick in the shade Dark 175W. I'm starting my contour from here. I think that when I started doing my makeup, I used to take my contour really low. But the difference is that it actually affects how people see your face and it affects how light hits your face. So I like like a very snatched look. So we're going up, right? I want to make sure that you're blending or you're applying your product upwards, not downwards, because all these little things matter and they affect the results that you get in the end. I'm going to do my jaw line, my chin slash jawline. I'm going to do my forehead because big forehead, whoop. And then I'm going to do my nose because my nose gotta be snatched. I basically said I want to be snatched. Am I snatched? As you can see, I didn't go too dark. I just went to like a shade darker. Next thing I'm going to go with is blush. I don't know why my words, I don't know. Forgive me. And I'm using this blush palette. I'm going to use the orange and the pink shade. Just using my fingers to warm that up. And I don't ever apply products directly from the pan. Products like this directly from the pan to my face because I just feel like I'm not going to get the best results and it will be patchy. So I'm going to try and put that on the back of my hand. So I used the bottom part of my beauty blender and I tapped on this on my hand. So now I'm going to smile and just put it on. Just right there. Now, normally I can just go in and start blending my highlight area normally, but for the sake of beginners that are watching, if you feel like, oh, your products are dry or you don't want to just go in like that, go back in with your fixing spray and from a distance spray your face. I said from a longer distance because your face is not going to be as wet. Now that we've done that, we can now blend. Okay, if you feel like if you spray your face too much, allow it dry. If you go with your beauty blender on wet face, I pity you, your makeup is going to scupper. Don't call Pasheda's name. Now we're going to blend, start from under eye. So when you start blending, it's actually going to feel like, oh, is this concealer not moving? Has it dried? It hasn't. Just apply a bit more pressure and blend. It's just blending out like more full coverage. If you're still watching at this point of the video, comment well in the comment section. I want to know how many people watch this video again. Don't waste my energy. I'm just going to go ahead and blend every part that has concealer. Blend it properly. Another thing about makeup is that you just have to keep blending. Quite honestly, blend it out still. You can't see that line anymore. Just keep going over it. It will blend. Now that we blended out the highlights, we're now going to go ahead and blend the contour. I like using the bottom part of my sponge for the contour. What you're doing is that you're blending it into the highlights on your face. You don't want to see any harsh lines. Like, I don't want to be able to see where your contour is starting from or where your highlight is starting from. I hate that thing when I say it. So please blend. Like, just keep blending. It's supposed to give you like a gradient effect, not like zebra crossing. It's supposed to have like a gradient effect, okay? Not zebra crossing effect. So just keep blending. So next up, we're going in with setting powder. I'm using this setting powder from Msmectics. It's in the shade Ginger. So something I used to do sometimes, it's just like a mood thing, is sometimes I go in with a powder, my shade underneath my eyes, so that when I go in with my setting powder, it doesn't, like, it just makes the blend smoother. But since I started using Mirac, shout out to them though, lovely products. I don't feel the need to that anymore. And with your setting powder, you gotta be generous, so that when you dip, sorry, ASMR. So when you dip your beauty blender into the products, it doesn't leave patches. So now I'm going to dip my beauty blender into the products and still dip it on, press it on my palm, because you want your beauty blender to be fully covered. You don't want it to have patches. Let me tell you the secret about this thing is, anything that you put on your beauty blender, like the way it looks on the beauty blender, that's how it's going to look on your face. Now when you're doing powder on top of cream products, you don't have the ability to blend too much again. Like, what you put there, you have cemented. It's like putting cement on block. That's the end. You get me? So let's not be making such mistakes here. If before you apply your setting powder, you see that your under eye has creased a bit, please blend it out before putting powder on it, because like I said, whatever you put the powder on, you're cemented it there. Now that we've set the face, we're going to go in with a bronzer. I'm not using an actual bronzer, I'm just using a warm dark shade of powder. Now this one that is that I think that a lot of people make mistakes. So even if you're using just a darker shade of powder, if you have like a warm skin tone, you want to ensure that you're not using a darker shade that has a cool undertone. You have to use a dark shade that has a warm undertone. So basically something that would complement your skin. Because the effect I want is like a bronzy effect, right? So I'm using this powder from Zaron. It is the mattifying compact powder in ZZ35. I'm using this brush that I got from it. So I'm going to hold my, I was saying that I got this brush from Nuban Beauty a while back. So I'm just going to hold my brush and brush it upwards, like on my face. That's exactly where I put my contour shade. But I'm not blending down, like I'm doing this. You get me? You get me? So same motions here. Go ahead to my forehead. Basically every area of the face that we applied a contour shade to. And I'm just going to do my jawline just because I like to make my face, give my face the illusion that it is slimmer than it already looks. So if you look at my face now, you will see that the light is hitting just like the middle point of my face, because that's the part of my face that I highlighted. If you want like a more defined effect, you can reverse contour your face. Okay, let me just do that to show you. So just go in with your setting powder and just reverse contour, just directly underneath your contour line. Just press the powder there and drag it forward, right? So this gives a more defined. And also if you have smile lines, ensure to just press the powder onto your smile, like a setting powder onto your smile line area. It helps to reduce your smile line, it doesn't take it off completely. Now that I've done that on the second part of my face, what I'm going to do is to then contour my nose. Okay, same powder. I'm actually supposed to use something a bit lighter, but because I didn't go too dark regardless, this works. So with a tinier brush, this is the brush I'm using, so maybe you guys can see what the tip looks like. I'm from the inner corner of my eye, so this particular point here, and I'm going to roll it down. So I want you to see that my hand is moving in this motion, not like this. So I find that when I do this, the strokes are a bit too harsh. I'm going to go back in with a setting powder because I need my nose to be snatched. And to get that snatched effect for your nose, literally going to reverse contour the nose. So from the under of your eye, just place setting powder here, like halfway where your nose is, your nose contour is. And I'm doing that on both sides. But this time I used a bit more product and I'm just going to leave it there to catch fallout. Like I'm going to put just like a very light layer of powder. On my brows, I'm going to go off camera to do my brows because I feel like a brow tutorial, like if I'm going to do brows, it's going to take a lot more time. If you want to see an in-depth brow tutorial though, leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to film one for you. So now that I've gone off camera to get my brows done, let's move on to eyeshadow. I feel like this is another place where a lot of beginners struggle, so I'm going to teach you a very simple look. So I'm working with an eyeshadow primer. If you don't have one, don't be afraid, just use your concealer, but use like a brighter concealer. But for the sake of this video, we're using the Candy's Beauty Line Pop Me Eyeshadow Base. Now when it comes to your eyeshadow work in general, the brushes that you use are extremely important. They can literally make or break your look. To apply the eyeshadow base, I'm using this brush. This is actually just a random brush I got from Trade Fair Market in Lagos. But what I want you to notice from the brush is that it is flat and it has like a fluffy tip. So I'm going to just tap on the eyeshadow base lightly, put it on my eye and on my eyelid rather, and blend. You want to blend till you cannot see any sign of it creasing. So now that we've blended that smooth, we're also going to go up to make sure that the edges are blended as well. But like the next important thing to note about your eyeshadow work is your transition colors. Basically the colors that you put up here to ensure that the main color for your eyeshadow that you put on this thing blends in well and you're not seeing you're not seeing zebra crossing line on your eyes. Now, in order to ensure that you transition properly, there are transition colors that you can use. Basically browns, deep orange, pink, depending on the eyeshadow look that you're going for. You can check more in-depth eyeshadow tutorials on YouTube, or if you want me to do an actual eyeshadow tutorial, also let me know in the comment section. I'm open to your ideas. But for the sake of this, I'm going in with a very deep powder shade, and I'm going to start from here, like on the part of my nose where we contoured, right? And make sure that you are operating your brush or handling your brush in a circular motion, like your hand should go like this. I know that it seems weird, but when you're blending, just make sure that you're rolling your hand. That also ensures that there is no harsh line and like everything blends in seamlessly. Now for the middle part here, I'm going to use the actual powder that I used to contour my face, which is a bit lighter than the one I just used. Because what we want is we're trying to create like a gradient, nice brown effect where the main color will just blend in. So put that in as well, and then go back in with a deeper brown to the outer corner of the eye. I always like to use a deeper color towards the outer part of my eye. But here, before I blend, I actually stamp it in. You can see that I'm applying a bit more pressure, like I'm actually pushing it into my eye first. Then I go ahead and blend it up. Now, if I close my eyes, you're going to see what I mean by a transition shade. So, like, can you see the difference into what I mean? Guys, so I went off camera to do this eyeshadow look, just so I have an idea what I want to show you. So we're using this Zikel Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. It's a very small palette. I'm going in with this brush from Colorbox Cosmetics. It's the CB12 brush. It looks very similar to the one I used to blend my eyeshadow base, but it's just fluffier. So on one side, I'm just going to tap on the orange shade, this shade, right? The shades are not named. Are they? No, they are not named. So I'm just going to tap on this shade and press it onto my eyelid. So I'm pressing it very close to the end of the eye, not the beginning part. Just press it in. So when you're working with brushes like this and powders like this, you don't have to roll your hand or anything. You're literally just pressing it in, right? You're just doing this. You're just pressing it in. So you also lift up your hand a bit so that you blur out that line. So when you get to this middle part now is when you can now roll your brush a little bit so that you just blur out that line. And that's why a transition shade, the brown that we put before, is very important, so that you don't have harsh lines. Like now you can't literally see where the brown starts or where the orange ends. Everything just blends into each other. So I'm going in with a lighter shade now. Okay. And when I get to the upper part again, I can blend so that the line is properly blended. And for these two shades that are meeting each other, we're just going to go back and forth till we're sure that there's no harsh line, like everything is well blended. And it should give you a seamless eyeshadow look like this. Okay, I'm going in with the darkest shade on this palette just to the ends of my eyes. This is not compulsory, but me, I prefer, like, if you see the difference now, the ends of this one is like smoked out and dark. This one is just there. I prefer my shadow like this because it just lifts my face a bit more. So I'm just going to stamp it towards the end of my eye and roll it in to come to this part as well, like this. So this part, I'm saying this part is like the end of my eyeball. When you trick your brush and you can poke your eyeball, don't poke your eyes out too. So I'm just going to roll it there like that. Just create like a gradient-ish effect. So next up, I'm going with a mascara. I'm using the voluminizing mascara from Honey Beauty. Did I tell you guys before that most of the brands that I'm using are actually Nigerian brands? Now that I've done lining my eye, I'm going to go back in with the darkest shade on this palette and smudge my under eye. I'm going to start from the outer part so that the product is more dense there and acts like I'm about to draw like a wing liner. So I'm basically using the powder, this eyeshadow, to like draw a wing liner. That also just helps to lift your eye look a bit. Then you use what is left on it to just smudge out the front part. Depends on how dense or intense you want it to look sharp. So now that that's done, go back in with my beauty blender. I don't apply any more product, just the way it is. And I just use it to clean up like a flat line under my eyes. You want to add a bit of juice, like you just want to take it up a notch, say for date night. This is a good date night look for Owambe-ish, whatever. You can use shimmer instead of like matte eyeshadow, or you can just do what I'm about to do. Take a shimmer eyeshadow and put it in your inner corner. This little, I find that this little thing actually makes a whole lot of difference to you. So it just opens your eyes. So I'm gone off camera to fix my lashes, and we're going to be dusting up my under eye, and I'm using this powder from Nuban Beauty. This is the Nuban Beauty mineralized finishing powder. The shade has cleaned, can't remember. But anyways, this powder, I won't say it's a dupe, but it's very similar to the MAC Mineralize. So it's a cheaper version. It does similar to what MAC Mineralize does. I'm just going to use a loosely tapered brush, and instead of dusting out the setting powder from my under eye, I'm actually going to go in and press it in. So if you want that UK body whitish bright, not white, bright under eye, don't dust off your setting powder like this when you're done. Just go ahead with your normal powder and just press it into your skin. Now that that's done, now for this part, I'm actually just going to blend it into my skin. Like, I'm not pressing it, I just dust it up. I'm going to go in on my skin powder here. So I'm just applying a lip balm, and this is just going to allow my product glide onto my lips easier. I'm lining my lip with the Davis pencil in the shade 18. This is the OG bad girl pencil. If you know, you know. If you don't know this pencil, for my bottom lip, I'm not overlining it. I'm just going on a natural lip line. For my top lip, however, I'm going slightly on top, so I'm not drawing out of proportion. I'm just going on top of my lip line. Oh, sorry. I'm going in with this lip gloss called Wilhelmina from Jack's Cosmetics. This is my favorite brown lip gloss, like the lipstick shade ever. Usually put it on where I put my pencil. The only difference is that I brought it down to the middle of my lip a bit. And then I'm still going in with Jack's Cosmetics lip gloss. This is a gloss in shade AZZY Azzy. There's nothing happening in my room. And just in the middle of my lip. And then I'm going with the lighter shade in LG10. This is from Classic Makeup. Just put it in the middle of my lip. So next up, I'm going in with the Kiss Beauty Fix Spray that I used in the beginning to just melt in this. Like, if you look at my face now, you can tell that I'm wearing like a lot of products. It looks very powdery. What this spray does is to melt everything into your skin. So from a good distance. Guys, now that setting spray has dried down, I'm going ahead with the Juba makeup setting spray. This particular setting spray reminds me of the Morph Continuous Mist. If you see that I keep comparing Nigerian brands to all these other brands, because those are the products I used to use before I transitioned to this ones. It's literally a continuous spray as well. And yeah, that's it. That's how you achieve very smooth, easy look like this one. I think that this look is amazing and it slaps. Anyways, we've come to the end of today's video. That is my process on how to achieve a flawless looking bit like this one. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helps you in your makeup process and it helps your makeup to, you know, come out looking more stunning. Do not forget to subscribe, share, like, comment, share this video with a friend that you know would need it, that needs that help with their makeup. Okay, until I come your way next time, go forth and slay. Again, also do not forget to check out Zida Jewelry on Instagram or www.zidajewelry.com. I sell the best jewelries, if I do say so myself, and it's also very affordable. So I see you next time. Bye. Toodles.